Hello everybody and welcome back to Resident Evil HD. We came back to our first safe room last video, and what I've done is I have deposited a couple of my items into my item box. I've gotten rid of the canteen and the lighter for now, and I've traded it out for the dog whistle, and we're also going to be keeping the broken shotgun in our inventory for now. And with those two things, we're going to be solving a couple of puzzles and getting a few more key items. So I'm going to go back into the eastern hallway on the first floor because there was a room that I purposely skipped on our first visit, and that was because I wanted to pick up the broken shotgun. And now that we have that, I can show you how to do this puzzle two different ways. So in this room here, we have a couple of goodies. There is a dagger, as well as an ink ribbon. But the biggest prize of all is this totally working shotgun that we can take, because the other item we have is the broken shotgun, which doesn't work at all. So this one is perfectly functioning, and that obviously is going to give us a lot more stopping power than our handgun will, so that is perfect. Now, when we took the shotgun off the wall, you'll notice that it's a weight trap. So we don't want to fall for any traps. Let's go ahead and put our broken shotgun in place. And if we do that, you can see that when we come back through the area, everything is going to be absolutely hunky-dory. We can leave, and that is really the only purpose that the broken shotgun is used for, is to trick that room into thinking that the shotgun is still in its original spot. Now, alternatively, if you didn't know about that puzzle, you can do it without the broken shotgun. However, it's going to play out a little bit differently. And to my knowledge, the only way to solve this puzzle as Chris is to do it the correct way with the broken shotgun. But if you're playing as Jill, you can do it both ways. So let's see what's going to happen this time around. So Jill fucked up, and now the Spencer Mansion is out to kill her. And if you try to go through these doors, they are locked. We're locked in here with no way out.
Wesker! Barry! Help!
Jill! You in there?
Barry? Get me out of here! The door's jammed!
Stand back! Grab my hand!
Barry.
That was a close one. A second late, you would have fit nicely into a sandwich.
Really? Thanks. But Barry, didn't you say you were going back to the dining room to find other clues? I'm glad and all, but why are you here?
I just had something I wanted to check. Anyway, we should get back to searching for Wesker and Chris.
Thanks, Barry. I owe you one.
Don't mention it.
Ah, so Barry saves our life again. Wow, that's a really helpful guy, that Barry. So once you've done that, you can't go back to that room, and hopefully you've collected all the items, because you won't be able to go back. And if you are going for a 100% item run, then that is going to screw you out of that. If you did that in that way and you didn't collect all of the items. So just thought I would show off both ways of doing that, because both ways are, you know, sort of fun and kind of interesting in my opinion. And I do have some empty inventory space, so what I would like to do is go back to this room, which I also skipped, because this is going to give us a key item that we're going to need much, much later. We're not going to need this right now, but it is good to pick up if you have the extra space. This is the chemical, and if you have the space, there are also some herbs here. And I should be getting ambushed by a dog, possibly. No? Okay, perfect. I equipped my shotgun because you just never know. Now that we have the shotgun, I feel much more confident about going up against dogs and crimson heads because my handgun just is not going to cut it in those situations. You can still use your handgun on dogs if you want to, but the shotgun is just much, much more effective. You can outrun those dogs pretty easily. And then this door is going to bring us back to the main hall. If I can walk. Thank you. Getting myself all turned around.
Barry,
Oh, Jill. Got any good news?
other than I'm still alive in this madhouse? No.
Can't say it's much safer here either. We'd better secure our escape route first. There's gotta be a back door somewhere.
Alright then, let's split up again.
See you later.
Ciao.
Okay. So, now, about that dog whistle. That is our next sort of item on the list that we need to use. And I also need to find an item box because my inventory is filling up pretty darn quickly. So we're going to go back to the west side balcony and the west side safe room. And now that I have my shotgun, I should also be able to deal with any crimson heads that I run into, hopefully, because I have put my lighter and my kerosene away, so if one does reanimate, I'll have to deal with it. And I don't think... Well, I have one herb in my inventory, I guess. I was gonna say I don't think I have any herbs either, which could be bad news. Now, they usually take a shot or two, depending on how close you are. Luckily, we have a couple of shells. And these guys shouldn't give us too much trouble. I do need to save my shells, though. I can't be using too many of them. And those guys shouldn't come back. Now that they're dead, we should be able to explore this hallway pretty freely without having to worry too much about these guys being in our way, which is really, really nice. Some handgun bullets I can't pick up, unfortunately. And now what I can do is unlock that door that I wanted to unlock earlier to create that shortcut. Okay. So, now we want to go through this door. I'm gonna go down to my save room first and use my item box, I think. Because I am gonna need some free inventory space in order to do the sequence with the dog whistle and the dogs. So we can put the broken shotgun in our inventory pretty much for the rest of time and just forget about it completely. The only purpose it ever serves is to be used in that puzzle. So if you have it and you didn't use it, just put it somewhere where it's out of sight and out of mind, because we are not going to have to use that at all. We have our dog whistle, which is great. We have our shotgun with a few shotgun shells. I'm a little bit nervous about that. I kind of wish I had a couple of more to take care of the next part, but that's okay. I'm also going to make a save, I think, because we've made quite a bit of progress. And now that I've saved, I can put the ink ribbons back into the chest to create more space. And I think we're pretty much ready to go. We can get to the balcony from up the stairs here, so we are very close. We've sort of set ourselves up to kind of take care of all these puzzles pretty quickly and efficiently. Really knowing your way around the mansion helps tremendously, because you can spend a lot of time if you don't know where to go. Now, hopefully 3 shotgun shells is going to cut it. I may need 4. I may have to bust out my handgun for the last part of this, which makes me a little bit nervous, but that's alright. Let's equip our shotgun and let's use the dog whistle. I like to sort of position myself against the eastern door and wait for the dogs to come to me. Once you use the dog whistle, there will be 2 dogs that will come, and you can dispose of them. Now, because they take 2 shells to kill, I was a little bit nervous, and we may have to use a handgun to kill that second dog. Or maybe not? Is he gonna get back up? No! Well, that worked out perfectly, alright. We are out of shotgun shells, but we saved ourselves some handgun bullets, so that's okay. From the one dog, you can get the collar, take a look at it, and if we examine it, there is a switch that we can push. And inside, there is a coin, and the coin actually turns out to be a key that we need, but the catch is it's only an imitation of a key. So we need to figure out how to get ourselves the real key, because an imitation is just not going to cut it. Okay, big sigh of relief there that we got that part taken care of. If you were injured with the dogs, you can use this green herb planter to heal yourself. There's a couple of green herbs that you can use. Unfortunately, you can't take these with you, but you can use that planter a couple of different times if you manage to get yourself hurt. And we also discarded the dog whistle because we're not going to need that anymore. So that'll free up even more inventory space. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put my shotgun away because I don't have any bullets for it. So it's completely useless to me at the moment and is just taking up unnecessary space that I may need to pick up other items down the road. So let's put that away and bring some handgun bullets along with us for this. And I think the last thing that we're going to do in this video is work towards turning that imitation key into a real key. I think that that is probably a really good place to sort of end things off. Because in a couple of videos, I think this is the 4th video, we have managed to make quite a bit of progress, actually. This isn't a terribly long game, especially if you know what you're doing, but it is still going to take us a couple of parts to complete. I'm going to pick up those handgun bullets I missed earlier. There we go. And then where I need to go is over this way. And we come into this room, which looks a little bit spooky. We seem to have a bit of a puzzle here. And there's a big shiny object in the middle of the floor. May whoever takes this emblem find peace in death. And that looks an awful lot like our real key that we're going to need. So let's go ahead and take that. Unfortunately, when you do, this trap will activate. It's another weight-sensitive trap. And to avoid getting ourselves crushed, what we need to do is put the imitation key down in place of the real key. Which again, fooling the mansion one puzzle at a time, that will allow Jill to be not crushed for the second time in one video, so that is perfect. The only other way to solve that puzzle is if you don't have the imitation key, is just to simply put the real key back in its place. But if you do try to take the key without putting anything in the indentation, you will die. There is no way around it. So after Jill almost became a Jill sandwich twice in one video, I think it's time for her to go back to the safe room and just rest up a little bit here. And I can save my game again and just determine sort of what my next course of action? Wow, I heard a door open somewhere. That's freaky. What my next course of action is going to be, where we're going to go from here. Obviously, that key is going to have something to do with it. If we take a look at this key, this turns out to be our armor key, and we have seen several doors that require us to use that key, so that, along with the sword key, is going to open up a whole lot more possibilities for us in terms of where it is that we're going to be able to go in the mansion. So that's some pretty exciting stuff. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will be seeing you next time.